Good morning, everyone. My name's Stephen with the Flint and Genesee Chamber of Commerce. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to give it a few seconds for folks to hop on. We're talking this morning about the Workshare program. We're joined this morning by Ty Kraus, Business Services Manager for GST Michigan Works. Ty, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I want to hand it over to you. Ty has presentation for us this morning, and then we're going to open it up for some questions at the end. We also have Tyler Ross-Messler, our Director of Economic Development, to join in that conversation. But before that, Ty, I'm going to hand it over to you for your presentation. Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, and good morning, everyone. Thanks for the Workshare program information session. Once again, my name is Ty Kraus. I'm the Business Services Manager for GST Michigan Works. And just to give you a touch of a little background of what we do, we work in the area with businesses through a business-focused, demand-driven, collaborative approach to assist businesses retain current workers, create jobs, attract new business, and operate competitively in the global marketplace. We work with our partners in the area, the Chamber, Economic Development, and other community assets. We partner up to do the best we can to serve our community in that space. Part of what we do is inform businesses about programs such as Workshare, which is what I'm here for today. Workshare has been around since about 2015. The Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity brought it about. It was part of an original design to help employers with a smart way to avoid employee layoffs due to a lack of work or reduced capacity. So if there was a slowdown, they could make adjustments accordingly. Workshare was designed to help employers faced with a short-term reduction in available work. Workshare allows an employer to divide the available work among a specified group of affected employees. For instance, if you had a welding line in a production shop and there was a slowdown in the demand for product or supply chain, you could adjust their work schedules appropriately and use this program to do that. Workshare is a tool for right now. COVID-19 shelter in or stay at home orders made it possible to bring this out and promote it to employers in an alternative way. Workshare now allows a company to re-engage its workforce and ramp up their business on a schedule that works for them. Some are going to be slower than others. So gearing up and bringing it up to speed, this program is perfect for helping them get up and running again. And it's about retaining and restarting. So restarting and retaining. As Michigan restarts its economy, employers are urged to use this Workshare program to bring their employers back from unemployment or layoffs and restart their operations. Workshare can help employers bring back their employees from unemployment faster and allows employers to retain their workforce. So one of the really key thing about this is retaining your workforce and not losing them. You've hired them, you've trained them, they've worked in your facility. So the key is to keep those employees in your organization or your company. So very important to keep your workforce, to keep you running more smoothly as you ramp up. So how does Workshare work? With this program, a worker receives a reduced salary or wages from their employer because of the reduced hours. Those other hours are made up by being paid a % of their unemployment benefits. Plus, they receive the additional $600 CARE Act federal benefit through the end of July 2020. So those three elements are how the employee gets paid in this program. I have a small video clip. It's 2 minutes long. I'd like to try it if we can. So we'll see if this goes right, but it's a really nice way, very short way to show you how this works. If we can get it up and running here in just a second. I don't want it to create an issue for us, so.
During this global pandemic, we know that many Michigan businesses are faced with extremely difficult choices to make when it comes to their workforce. You don't want to lay off staff, they're like family, but what else can you do? You don't want to lose your talented workforce to another employer. The answer is the Workshare program. The Workshare program saves employers money and skilled workers and employees jobs. Employers can restart their business and bring back employees from unemployment while having the flexibility to choose which of their employees are part of the Workshare unit. Here's how it works. Instead of cutting jobs, you cut hours. Then employees collect partial unemployment benefits for the hours they've lost. Say an employee's hours are cut temporarily by 40%. In addition to a partial paycheck, the worker will get 40% of his or her regular weekly unemployment benefits. In other words, employers save payroll and hang on to their skilled workforce, while employees keep their jobs and collect unemployment for the hours lost. Employers retain talent. Don't think of the Workshare program as unemployment insurance. Rather, it's employment insurance, a safety net. This is a program that keeps workers employed. This is a program that shows employees that you care. This is a program that allows employees to
Ty,
their
I
talent.
wanted to let you know
The
it's
Workshare
not
program
on the
protects your
screen.
business during the lean time. That is, until you're ready to contract here in Michigan's National Michigan's employment services system to start hiring new workers. How successful has the Workshare program been? The majority of business owners who have used it would sign up for the program again, and virtually all would recommend it to other employers. As businesses are reopening, Workshare can help employers bring back their employees from unemployment faster and also allow them to retain their workforce and avoid layoffs. In every business, there are peaks and valleys. When you hit one of those valleys, we'll be here for you. Here's how to reach us when you're ready to get started.
Okay, I might have lost you on that video, and if I did, I apologize. We'll move forward with the information. Workshare exclusions. So I'll get to the exclusions right away and what that looks like. Employees who work 40 or more hours a week are not included in the program. Employees, cannot be seasonal, temporary, or intermittent employment or employees. Workshare benefits are taxable income, but deductions cannot be subtracted from your weekly or biweekly payment. So when it becomes tax time, the employee who receives this will be responsible for reporting his income or her income in their taxes when they file. The Workshare benefits, I can't help but reiterate, Workshare allows the business to retain 100% of its valued talent. The workers keep their jobs, which is great. It minimizes or eliminates the need for layoffs because you're bringing people back and you're avoiding that because you're sharing the workload. The business keeps its employees and reduces labor costs in that fashion, reduces training costs, which is key. You're bringing back those employees with the experience in your facility or your organization. So it's a win-win solution for both the business and the employees. Workshare requirements, very important. There's a number of these, and I'll go through them one by one just to make sure we've got them covered. Employers are given flexibility to organize which employees are in a Workshare plan. A plan must include a minimum of 2 employees, and an employer can have multiple plans. So as many plans as you want, but each plan has to have a minimum of 2 employees. A plan may be approved for up to 52 consecutive weeks. Remember, the reduction in work hours must result in an equivalent reduction in wages. So if your production is down 10% for that group of people, their wages must be reduced by 10% and reflect that. Very important. Remember, part-time employees are eligible, but Workshare does not apply to seasonal, temporary, or intermittent employment. So I just want to reiterate that. That question will be asked as we move forward. Very important to know that. Employers must obtain approval of any applicable collective bargaining unit representative. So if there's a union involved, you'll have to, meet with them and deal with their collective bargaining unit representative. to make sure all your bases are covered. Employers participating in Workshare cannot modify employees' fringe benefits, so they won't be reduced. So the employee keeps their fringe benefits that they've always had. So very important, and important for them to know that. It's a motivator to bring them back to work and get them going again. The employer signs up for the program or the benefits for the employee. So the employee doesn't sign up for this. The employer, actually is the one who signs up the employees for the program benefits. The employer certifies and reports to unemployment the employee's worked hours for each employee in each plan, not the employee. An employer must communicate participation in the program to the affected employees. So they need to know what's going on, and this communication informs them of what they're eligible for and what they can expect. If you need an employee to work a full 40 hours during a specified week, you just wouldn't report that worker for that week to unemployment. Workshare recently was expanded, so some rule changes as we move forward. Just to be sure you understand, employee hours can now be reduced by as little as 10% up to 60%, and that was 15 and 45. So very key to know that, very important to know that. The length of time an employer must be in business has been waived. So at one time it was a year, and now you can be in business. You might have just started your business. You might have had the doors open for a couple of months, and the COVID stay-at-home order was put in place. You're eligible due to this waiver of that rule. Employers do not have to be current. They do not have to be current on their unemployment taxes. That's a key element. And employers are not required to have a positive balance in their unemployment tax account to benefit from this. Regular part-time employees are now eligible. So part-time employees are now eligible. So that was waived. Workers affected get to collect the additional $600 CARE Act subsidy until the end of July 2020. Very important. I know we've said that before in this presentation, but it's important for those workers to know they will not lose that. And Workshare is 100% federally funded through December 2020. So to conclude real quick, Workshare is a great option for employers who need to bring back their employees at a reduced capacity based on wherever they're at in their situation. It allows them to bring them back slowly if necessary so that they can ramp back up and get their business going again. It also allows the company to re-engage their workforce and ramp up their business as the schedule works for them. So the schedule works for them and they're ramping up their business, they're re-engaging their workforce. Using additional money from the CARES Act serves as a great incentive for workers to return from total unemployment and get back to work. So once again, we reiterate the CARES Act and how it applies to the program. Most importantly, is the employers retain employees and talent. So there is a video that I want to connect you with. I won't play it here. Looks like there's an issue there if I play a video, but how to apply to the Workshare program. I will forward this information to Stephen and we can get it out to everybody who watched today or who signed in and registered for today. There's a detailed video on how to apply for the Workshare program. It's very good. And the toolkit is a step-by-step instruction on how you can apply. I'll also get that to Stephen for distribution. But it's very intricate. It's step-by-step. It does a far better job than me trying to cover it because it is a little lengthy, but it's simple. It's a simple step-by-step process, and very good to know that, and very good to have something in front of you that you can take step-by-step and walk you through the process of how to apply. Now, to learn more about this, you would go to michigan.gov/Workshare, or you can email UIA Workshare@michigan.gov, or the Office of Employer Ombudsman, 855-484-2636. And thank you. We'll answer some questions from you. I know it was brief. Hopefully I covered enough information for you to understand the basis of it, and we'll get you the information on how to apply. So maybe there's some questions I can take.
Thanks, Ty. Tyler, we'll start with you. Before you go, though, I wanted to let everyone know that's watching, if you have any questions, please submit those through the chat, and we will answer them as best we can. Tyler, we'll start with you. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, just to reiterate, Ty, a couple things that I heard you say. Basically, if you think about this from the employee perspective,
Yes.
this is a way for you to get back to work and not give up your unemployment benefits. So you can actually make more money than you were making both either working without unemployment or with unemployment. Is that correct?
Yeah, the chances are you will end up making more money and you won't lose your unemployment. So the benefit that you receive will be based on the hours reduced at work. So if you're working 4 days a week or 32 hours, the unemployment piece would cover that 1 day or that 8 hours. So you would get those two. And then you would also get the CARES Act subsidy. And typically in most cases, you would be making more money going back to work and being part of the Workshare program than you would if you just went back to work.
And it's a way, and then if you think about it from the employer perspective, it's a good way to kind of dip your toes back into getting back to work without having to bring everybody on full time, even if you might not know if you have all the work for them, right? So it's a way to kind of slowly ramp back up.
Absolutely, because ramping back up means getting your supply chain back in order, getting your revenues coming in. Taking it slow probably would benefit most employers at this time instead of trying to hit it full speed and hit the ground, running at full speed. I know everybody wants to do that, but this might serve you very well in getting and ramping up, like you're saying. Yeah, absolutely.
So Ty, what kind of businesses can take advantage of this?
All businesses.
So it doesn't matter if you're a restaurant or a manufacturer or anything in between? Absolutely
not. Does not matter.
Okay. And what about nonprofits? Can nonprofits take advantage of this?
Yes, absolutely.
So if you're a nonprofit that had to put people on unemployment, you can bring them back slowly and they can benefit in this unique way because of the CARES Act.
Yes.
So that would be something people to take. Is there any salary minimum or maximum?
I can investigate that for you. Not that I know of. I have not heard of any minimum or maximum.
Okay. The employer does have to pay the benefits though, right? So there's probably some type of economics where you look at it and say, how much is it to pay the benefits at a full-time rate, right?
Correct.
There might be some math required.
There probably is.
Yeah,
there probably is.
But at first blush, it seems like a pretty great thing. One other question is just, could you walk us through again how it sounds like if you're an employer, you have to initiate the process by applying with government. So can you just kind of walk me through, if I'm an employer, what I need to do?
Really briefly, you would go to your MyWham account. Okay. And the application process takes place there. So if you need to create your MyWham account, you would go create that on the PMTC, Pure Michigan Talent Connect, and then you can move forward with that application process. But go to your MyWham account, and everything is right there for you. It's a couple of clicks, you open up the application and start filling it out according to whatever your specific need is, whatever your plan. You just initiate, what do you think? If you've got an idea, and you can estimate, you don't have to be exact. You can estimate, my production, it's going to be down 10%. So you put that in your plan accordingly, identifying the production and those people who are affected by that.
So if you're,
go ahead.
That example about a production might be in a manufacturing situation, but a restaurant might say, I'm only operating at 30% what I was before. And so
exactly.
Do them different ways. Absolutely.
Yeah. So you just identify what that looks like for your specific business, and you plug that into your application.
Great. I guess one other question is that the CARES Act is going to expire the end of July.
Correct.
So right now, with that extra $600, this is pretty much a no-brainer
Right.
for employers that want to take care of their employees. But what is it going to look like? And maybe you could kind of give us some examples of dollars amount. What's it going to look like post-July? Because you said Workshare, a lot of it's 100% federally funded between now and December 2020. So what does post-July but pre-December look like?
Well, the CARES Act, the CARES Act subsidy of $600 will drop off. So basically, it would be their wages for however amount of hours they've worked, plus unemployment for the hours that they did not work, and that would be it. Whatever that calculates to, that would be it. They would lose that $600 subsidy from the CARES Act.
So, just for ease, I guess, if you make $100 a day or $500 a week, and you're and you have to there's only enough work to work 4 days a week.
Correct.
So you're only making $400 a week now on the Workshare, plus the unemployment to cover that last day, right? I mean,
correct. That's a perfect example.
Okay, so you would work 4 days a week, make $400, and then you're off that last day, but your unemployment benefits could cover the last day. Right?
Yep. For the length of the plan, whatever the length of that plan is. Now that could run 52 weeks if you wanted it to, or could run just a few weeks depending on what your needs are. So,
okay. So so even without the CARES Act, it's a pretty compelling case both for the employee and the employer. I think even post CARES Act.
I think so.
Yeah, that's really helpful. And then the application process is through that portal that you described, and the videos you have in this link that we can update on the feeds.
Correct.
Walks you through it.
Yeah, it walks you right through it step by step. It's very easy. You follow the instructions. As long as you're doing that, it's pretty easy. If you have any questions, there's other links that you can follow up. To make contact with someone who can answer those questions, the application process and so forth. But it's, we're trying to get this out to as many employers as possible. It's great information. It's a great program to take advantage of as they ramp up and get back up to speed and get back to normal, if you will. But yeah, we're trying to get this information out there to everybody.
I think from my perspective, it really helps the productivity of ramping back up. And it gets more federal money, more stimulus into our communities, right? So we're getting the best of both worlds, I think of that. So really all employers from nonprofits to small businesses to larger businesses should be taking advantage of this.
Absolutely. If we don't use these dollars in our community, we lose them to other communities. So we should be taking advantage of these tax dollars as much as we can.
Bring them here.
Right.
We do have one question, and I'm going to put it on the screen. Self-employed individuals, their capacity to engage in this program, barber, stylist, etc., that may only return on a staggered schedule. Are self-employed individuals eligible for the program?
Wow, that's the first time I've heard that question asked. I will have to follow up on it. It's a great question, and I have to apologize. I don't have the answer. I don't want to say anything that's not true, but let me find out, and I will get that back to you. Or if you can send me that person's contact information, either way, I want to follow up on that.
I'm Bernard.
But either way, I want to follow up on that because honestly, I don't have the answer for you.
Yeah,
But
please.
it's a great question.
Bernard, we'll get the information to you.
Yeah.
Good question.
Good question.
Those are the only questions that we have via the chat.
Well, I just want to thank everybody for allowing me to get this information to you. Thank you for your time. Very much appreciated.
Thank you. I do have one more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I'm an employee who's watching this video right now, How can what information should I share with my employer, since the process has to really start at the company level?
Okay. I will forward all the information necessary to bring this to an employer. And if Stephen would just go ahead and send that out, so everybody has that available, and this person can take it to their employer and say, hey, I went to this webinar, got this great information, and it looked like a superstar with their boss.
Bingo.
So, but I'll get that out.
All the information that Ty sends, the PowerPoint deck and any other supplemental info, we'll make sure and add to our website. We have a whole bunch of coronavirus related resources available for you. That's right on the homepage. Please click there, look for this webinar. Thanks for joining us. Ty and Tyler, have a great day.
We got to start a band.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.